Hey there, YouTubians, CJ Holmes here. Well, here's the next part of the tutorial on the Titanic wreck model. I was hoping to get the first class lounge portion back here on the boat deck worked on. However, it was brought to my attention by one of my subscribers, John Williamson. Hey there, John. Thank you very much for your kind words and also your constructive criticism. He brought to my attention that the bend in the forward section of the bow was insufficient. And really, it was something that I kind of knew in the back of my head and was just hoping that it would go away. But the truth of the matter is, when the Titanic struck the seabed, the bow dug into the ocean floor and it caused the forward portion to buckle. I had that buckle created, but not enough. According to the experts, there should be 11 degrees of bend, of flex in the forward portion of the bow. And this is an 11-degree angle here. And when I compare that to the model, I'd only put in about 5 degrees of bend. So if I line up the ship this way, it'd be kind of difficult to do this with two hands, let alone one hand. All right, so if I follow the line of the ship here, the forward portion is too high. And I was just going to let it go. But again, it was brought to my attention, and it was something that really detracts from the full accuracy of the model. So I bit the bullet and have decided to change that. So what I did off camera is I literally just took a saw and sliced away, just sawed away the bottom of the ship. And I ended up with this chunk of plastic. Literally just cut it off. Now, if I bend it all the way down, that's really a bit too much. So what I've done is I've created this little block of wood with some stiff wire in it. What I'm going to do is glue the wood down. I've drilled a hole on each side of the bow section, and I'm going to run these stiff wires into those holes to hold it down. So what I need to do first, so you can see that I've cut the bottom of the hull out, so it's basically suspended there. And we're going to bend it forward more to give us a true 11 degrees of bend. So I made this little block of wood. I'm going to glue it down on the base right about there. I'm going to bring the hull down to that and then run these wires into the holes. So first I'm going to go ahead and glue my block of wood down. After I find my glue, there it is. Just going to use super glue again. Rather generous amount all the way around. I might even screw it down, but we'll see how it holds this way. Okay, good amount of glue. And now I'm sliding that right underneath the hull. Hold that in place for a bit. I'm going to take the decking out here so you can see this. See the hole there on each side and the wires that are going to clamp that down. Okay, so that's going to be in place there. And this is going to go down here, and I think that's going to work. So again, I have, what I'm doing is I'm following this line, and that on the original ship, that was before the wreck, it was actually kind of went up slightly. But now we've got to bend it down. And that's our 11 degrees right there. Makes sense? I feel much better about myself in getting this corrected. Better to do it early than to have everything built and look at it and just not be happy with the result. That should be angled there. That's going to look good. Awesome. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to apply some cement, some crazy glue to the underside here. And then I'll probably reinforce it with my baking soda crazy glue combo. That's going to press down there. And now I'm going to take some pliers and put these little locking wires in place. Okay. And we'll do it on this side. See if you can see that. There they are. Squeeze them in. Great. I'll run a bead of cement on this side. This, of course, will all be buried in the mud, so we won't see any of this since the bow is buried up to the funnels, not the funnels, the anchors on both sides. So all of this is going to be in mud. Blow that off. And we'll reinforce this side. Awesome. So now I have a bend in the bow that looks a lot more like the real ship. Okay. Again, the mud line is actually going to go up and be right below the anchors and then taper off down here. So all of this will be hidden. And I don't think that's going to go anywhere. I'm liking it. Alrighty then. Well, that didn't take long at all. Feel much better about life. Cool. So there we go. So now I'll do a little bit of work now that I have a little time. do a little bit of work on the first class lounge. Alrighty, so I've got the part of the first class lounge, which is this part here. And the goal is to cause it to bend. So we're looking at this part here. Okay. And we've got the bend that starts right at the tail end of the gymnasium and funnel number 2 wall there, which is this. So this is going to remain like this, and the rest of it bends down. I've also attached the walls, the raised walls of the first class lounge, and I've tapered it because really these decks are collapsed down on each other on the rack, as you can see here on this beautiful artwork by my artistic hero, Ken Marshall. Okay. So we're going to be putting this in here, but first I'm going to need to bend this. And let's see how we're going to go about that. I want to make a small cut in the deck right here. Just about a 1/4 inch. Let me see if that's enough. Not quite. Yeah, it's making some progress. Awesome. So I'm going to bend that like that. Great. Cool. Now, I hope I haven't lost it, but I'm going to look for the wall that goes in here. I had it here somewhere a few minutes ago, but when I started working on the forward section, there it is. I misplaced it, but I'm looking for this piece here, which I'm going to glue in like that. Cool. I think I might sand that down a bit. To get this wall straight. Awesome. Put some glue. All right. I think I might go ahead and reinforce that. Okay, I'm just going to dip it in my baking soda if it'll fit. Nope, it's not going to fit. So we'll just pour some on there. Perfect. Okay, so this is going to represent the bend in the decking. Also, another thing that we need to do is remove all these little stairways. Let me find an appropriate tool. I have my pile of tools here, and this is the one that I need. So we have all these little steps. Those were wooden, and probably had some metal supports, but they're gone on the wreck. And so now that all that is in place, let me see if I can make this fit. Almost. I'm going to go ahead and take this off. There's no reason right now to have it in place here. So my goal is to get things down. One thing I'm going to do is I have this is a little too deep. Now, let me see if I can just snap it off. Nope, it's going to take the whole part off. So let me get my block of sandpaper. Yep. Broke the glue joint. Do some more reinforcing. Cool. In fact, what I think I'll do is just cut it off with my nippers. Better. Alrighty then. So I think that's going to fit. What I'm going to do now is see if I can bend these decks down. And I'm going to apply some heat. I have to be very careful with styrene plastic. Let me show you what I have going here. Here's a bit of vinyl that I used on the kit, and this vinyl came from some vertical blinds that I had replaced in the house. So if I apply a good amount of heat to the vinyl, it'll conform nicely. And so I can mold it, do all kinds of cool things to the vinyl. Styrene plastic isn't anywhere near as forgiving. You have to be very careful with the styrene because it'll go from hard to melted in no time. So I'm just going to apply some gentle heat. Notice how it's already relaxing the plastic. Okay, look at how it's bent already. I might exaggerate it a bit. And now I'm going to do the same thing with the boat deck. See how carefully I have to do it, because it will bend and melt very quickly. Look at that. Of course, it's off camera here. But that bent really nice. Happy with that. Okay, let's do the other side. Work on the port side. Okay, let's see if that's ready to bend. There we go. Turn off my hot air. And so now I have some decks that are bent down, so I could place them here. It's actually exaggerated, but we'll adjust that later. But this is what I'm working with now. So see now how I've already got the decking bent down. So now I'm going to see if I can fit the first class lounge into this mess. And there you go. Pretty close to how I want it to bend. That'll all have to be glued in place. I have just a little bit that'll be showing on the boat deck. Right, cool. So that's what we're looking to achieve. And then on the illustration, you'll note that you've got the opening for the funnel number 3 casing. It extends down somewhat here and is chopped up farther toward the bow section. So this needs to be cut. And I'm just going to savagely decapitate it like that. I'm even going to take off some of this. I'll make that look worse at a later date. But we're getting pretty close to the end of how far I want to go with this. I am going to do a little adjusting here. Before I end the video, what I want to do is adjust this forward portion of the wall. Just take off a slice. All right, cool. I think that's going to work all right. Okay, I just need to get this all to fit onto the deck. And then we'll be good to go. The next steps will be to add the decks that go below the boat and a deck. And what I've done is I have cut out some more of this vinyl material. I think I have it marked. There's B deck, C deck, D deck, and I'll work on E deck later. But these will all be sandwiched down as we continue in the construction. So we'll leave it at that. So we've got some of the bends started in the collapse of the decking, and we also corrected the underbite of the forecastle. So there we go. That's the progress we've made so far, and hope you enjoyed the video, found it entertaining and educational, and we'll see you next time. So in the meantime, have a nice day.